Slavic folklore has its roots in the pagan beliefs of ancient Slavs, with its stories being passed from generation to generation as fairy tales. Some writers made a number of well-known literary interpretations of these classical Slavic fairy tales, which often involve talking animals, princesses, and protective spirits. However, some of these stories are not so cheerful, as they include witches and even demons, whose sole purpose is to ruin people's lives. Amongst these writers, there was Nikolai Gogol. Characteristic of him is a sense of boundless superfluity that is soon revealed as utter emptiness and a rich comedy that suddenly turns into metaphysical horror. Some of his short stories have strains of surrealism and the grotesque, such as V, considered one of his most scary creations. During summer, most students leave the cities towards the countryside as they travel home. 3 of them, including the philosophy student Homer, get lost in the wilderness. As the night falls, they eventually see small houses where they go seeking shelter. An old woman opens the door. Although she first refuses to accommodate them, she then changes her mind, letting them stay. In the middle of the night, the woman enters Homer's room. At first, he thinks she is trying to seduce him, but as she gets closer to him, he sees a strange glow in her eyes. The old woman then leaps on his back and he finds himself unable to control his own body, as they run together across the countryside. Homer then starts chanting exorcisms loud, which slows the witch down. As she collapses, she transforms into a beautiful young girl. He then runs to Kiev, where he returns to his normal life. A rumor is spread in the city that the daughter of a rich Cossack has been found crawling back home almost dead. Her last wish was that Homer, the philosopher, would read her psalms over her corpse for 3 nights after her death. Although Homer has no idea why he has been requested, his dean forces him to perform the readings. On the first night, the Cossacks take her body into a ruined church. Homer is scared, but he calms himself by lighting up the place with a few candles. As he begins to say the prayers, he imagines that the corpse is getting up, but it never does. However, when he looks again, he sees the corpse sitting on the coffin. The witch begins to walk around, trying to reach for someone. As she approaches Homer, he draws a circle of protection around him, which she cannot cross. Something similar happens on the next night, but this time she calls upon winged demons and creatures, but Homer is invisible to them. In the morning, the philosopher tries to run away, but is captured by the Cossacks and forced to finish the readings. The third night is the most terrifying. The witch's corpse calls again upon the demons, but this time they bring the V, the one who sees everything. The creature has gigantic eyelids that have to be lifted by the other demons so he can exercise his power. Homer is trying not to look, but when he peeks, he sees a horrible face staring right into his soul. The demons then leap onto him, and the poor philosopher dies of horror. However, the creatures miss the first crowing of the rooster in the morning, leaving them trapped inside the church.